Welcome to the Upper Valley Chronicle. I'm your host, Ann Holmes. Dr. Matthew Stralka of Gateway Chiropractic joins us to talk about his gentle and healing method of chiropractic care and his practice in Hanover, New Hampshire. Right now we're visiting with Dr. Matthew Stralka, who is with Gateway Chiropractic of Hanover. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
And how long have you been in this business?
I've been in practice for about 14 years.
Mm-hmm. And have you always been in Hanover?
No, I just located Hanover. I opened in October of last year.
Uh-huh. And what brought you to Hanover?
My wife took a job at Dartmouth and she begged me to move here, said it was a great place, and I like it anyway.
And there you go.
Yeah.
Now I know we were talking off camera, Matthew, about that your type of care differs a little bit from traditional or what people think of when they think of chiropractic care. Tell us about the way you practice.
Most people think of chiropractic adjustments as the structural adjusting with the popping sound, cracking, popping sound, and it's a high force. And that's very effective, and I actually love that kind of chiropractic. But what I do is something called network spinal analysis, and it's very gentle, very low force. I adjusted my son when he was 5 minutes old, and I can work on somebody with osteoporosis. So it's very gentle, and what it does is it trains the nervous system, basically how to adjust the body.
Mm-hmm. And that and it reduces, what does it do? It gets rid of some of the tensions and the...
Well, what happens is that when people experience stress, whether it's from the birthing process, from the neck being misaligned during the birthing process, or anything that happens in life, any type of physical, chemical, or emotional stress that you can have, the body tries to protect itself. And in that armoring, or term that we use is called defense physiology, it causes a type of bracing. And while that job is to protect you in the short term, what happens is that there's a long-term detriment to it, and there's basically body-mind breakdown that happens over time, or lack of function or lack of ease. And so what we do is we teach the body how to reorganize so that it works more efficiently.
Mm-hmm. And so who are the clients you're seeing? Who comes to you? Have people tried other things before they land on your doorstep?
Usually people have tried almost everything before they come in. A lot of people are really surprised, and they almost think it's a joke that you can touch someone so lightly and that it would make a difference. Mm-hmm. So they usually have tried different things, and they're open-minded to alternative health care in general, mm-hmm. or they're referred by somebody who already had a good experience.
Mm-hmm. And so have you been well received in the Upper Valley? Are people starting to sort of get to know you and figure out what you do?
It's been great. Uh-huh. It's been great, and people seem very open-minded here and very progressive in seeking the newest stuff that's out there. And what's exciting about our work is that there's new research being done all the time on finding out and explaining why it works the way it does, because a lot of people are amazed by it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So Matthew, tell us about your training and how you sort of came to this philosophy of treatment.
Well, network is, when I was learning it, it was a postgraduate discipline. It's being introduced at some of the schools now. So I have a Doctor of Chiropractic degree, and then I did training, and I've done continuous training over the past 14 years, and I still do. I love learning the work, actually, and it's like any new emerging discipline, it's evolving. Mm-hmm. So I try to stay current and do several seminars a year and that type of thing.
And when patients come to you, I mean, do you have people who come to you for common complaints? I mean, what do you think the biggest complaint is when people walk in your door?
It doesn't really fit within just the low back pain type of thing. What happens is when someone comes in, I want to find out what their concerns are, and they may come in with initially that it is back pain or headaches or something like that, but people don't realize that the nervous system affects everything, and every live cell has between 2 and 7 live nerve cells sewn into it, so there's about 90,000 miles of cells in your body, so it affects and moderates everything. So when someone comes in, I really want to find out what their concerns are and what's going on mm-hmm. with them mm-hmm. in general with their life, and what could be improved, what they'd like to see change. And then during the exam, I show them and I try to illustrate the relationship between what's going on in their spine and what's going on in their life, and do it through assessing the patterns and explaining what the patterns mean. And that's a big part of the work that I do initially with people. And then it's teaching their system how to learn how to reorganize. And there's two specific waves that develop from the care. The first one is something called a respiratory wave, and it's just an increase in breath. And you can see the posture change when that comes through the body. But then there's another wave that's associated with network that a lot of people are familiar with, called the somatopsychic wave, and network's been around for about 30 years, so people are familiar with that wave because it's something you can actually film.
Wow. Thank you so much, Matthew, for being here. If you'd like to find out more about this gentle healing, check out Dr. Matthew Stralka, Gateway Chiropractic of Hanover.